I'm going to try and do the cold open again. Did you like that last time? We just like went into it conversationally?
Yeah.
And there was no intro and
it was,
everything, and then we just picked it up?
Yeah.
So I'm doing the same thing again. We're recording now?
Do the thing.
Is that so? Okay. What's up, guys? Zach Joachim here, Richmond Times-Dispatch. I got Michael Phillips, my good friend. This is On the Horn. VCU 59, Duquesne 69. Really tough loss. VCU needed this one to lock up the number 4 seed in the A10 tournament and go to Brooklyn with a double bye. Now you have to have a win on Friday at UD Arena in order to lock up double bye. Going to be a lot of tension going into that one. There was a lot of tension around here. That was what I led with early on. When you know Max Scholga is not going to be available due to back spasms, you could feel the tension building in here even before it tipped off, and it felt like a night that nothing was going to come easy for VCU. And that was very much the case. A choppy, slow first half, right? Zeb Jackson collides with the Duquesne player. We had a long stoppage for some blood on the court there. Later in the half, Fats Billups, who provided a spark off the bench, right? Ryan Odom clearly looking for an offensive contribution, and Fats got going a little bit, and then finger roll in transition late in the half. Turns his ankle, looked like his right ankle that he went down on. Could not put any weight on it coming off. Roosevelt Wheeler came over to help him off, and Fats Billups did not return. And then VCU came out at halftime with a lot of energy. It felt for a moment there. I think 14-7 run. It took a 41-38 lead after a Sean Bairstow dunk. That was awesome. That was probably the most fun moment of the game. Sean Bairstow showing off the skills that won him some dunk contests in the state of Utah, I believe. But there was lots of hype coming into the season about that. And then Duquesne 8-0 run, I think, went up 46-41, and VCU never led again. Day Grant, I have to say, from a neutral standpoint, I really enjoyed watching him play basketball.
I really enjoyed watching Duquesne play basketball. They're loaded. That's a good team. By the way, is there an easier state in America to win a dunk contest in than Utah? Not discounting him. He's a good athlete. But.
Probably not. I didn't want to say anything. It's still dunk contest winning, which is cool. Good for Sean. But
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Dakota.
They probably are. Montana.
I think the Utah champ could take the North Dakota dunk champ.
Probably. South
Absolutely.
Dakota. Sean, stay well, man.
You also left off that the cheerleader got hurt.
Yes, that was a scary moment.
Dude, that was like he took a hard tumble.
Do you see what he fell on? He was kind of woozy?
He tried to do the
backflip
and just didn't. That's a dangerous move. He didn't get it all the way.
And that was kind of in. It's sad and difficult to say, but that was kind of in the theme of the night, right?
It really
felt
was.
like there was just a tension in here that felt like, I don't want to say it was doomed from the start, but it felt like it was going to be a tough night for VCU, and it was.
Can I say I thought the fans gave up on this early? Like fans were leaving when it was like a 6-point game with 2.5 minutes left.
And Toby had the and one down here, and then all of a sudden it felt like there was life.
If
and then
he
people
makes
walking
a
out
free
the
throw,
arena.
it's a 5-point game, and we got people headed down to Broad Street. I don't know that. I agree that I'm agreeing with you that just. The whole vibe, like, oh, we're down 5, we're not going to win or whatever. Like, I thought the game was still very achievable. You got Joe Bama still, the game's still achievable at that point. Was not meant to be, obviously, and Duquesne played some really good basketball. But
the lack of a back-to-the-basket score continues to really inhibit VCU, right? We talked about that a little bit, catching up at halftime. Christian Furman, man, he's a great kid. Not anywhere near aggressive enough in his post touches. When he gets the ball down there, he's immediately looking to pass out of it and not looking to score at all. That hurt VCU. They're trying to go through Toby Lawal down there a little bit, but he can't really get it going.
They're sagging off at Toby. Toby had so many chances to be assertive at the basket and let his presence be felt and be that guy and flex on everybody. He didn't quite have that in him tonight. And look, I love Toby as a long-term project.
Yeah.
He not gonna
fan favorite. The Toby chance when the alley-oops when he gets going in here. It's awesome.
I love Toby, and he had a great alley-oop tonight. Absolutely. But in terms of him being ready to be that guy in Brooklyn against some of the interior talent we've seen this year across the conference, I think that's probably wishful thinking.
He doesn't have the footwork and he doesn't have the muscle. Right. There were a couple of those. I think who's the Duquesne big? They've got a really big guy. Which one is it? Is it Barre or Nekas? He got out-muscled a little bit.
The guy who came off the bench.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got out-muscled a little bit a couple of times. And on the defensive end and the offensive end, that's the hole in Toby's game that he's still got to address. Everyone loves the athleticism, skying for rebounds and blocks and the alley-oop dunks and stuff. But he does not have the footwork and he does not have the muscle to score with his back to the basket and be a true guy that you can run an offense through down there. And when you don't have that, a lot of it Max Shulga, Joe Bamasiel over the course of the season being creators on the perimeter. That's what VCU has looked to. And Joe was good tonight, right? 18 on 6 of 14 from the floor, but it looked like too much of the time VCU was asking him to bail him out, right? And to hit a difficult shot and to be the scorer that we all know Joe is, and he was good, but he couldn't do it alone tonight. It wasn't enough, and they really, really missed Max Shulga.
Yeah, I was waiting for Sean to become Max, right? Because we know he's got that gear in him. That was what we heard from Utah State, right? It was like, this is the guy who's going to take things over. We got a little bit of it tonight. I don't know that we got a lot of it, but the Max thing is going to hover over the next week. I don't know if he'll be able to play in Dayton. I don't know if he'll be able to play in Brooklyn. I do know he's really, really important to this team.
Notes from the press conference, Joe Bamasiel will be back next year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's your silver lining for VCU tonight. Joe obviously wasn't recognized at midcourt for senior day, and we asked him about that in the press conference, and he said it's because I'm sure I'm coming back. And it's what everyone expected, right? This is fourth program, a bunch of transfers. With all the adversity that he's faced in his college career, he wants stability.
He got cheated out of some basketball, too, early in the season.
Yes, he did. And easy to, we don't have to get into that here, but easy to play the what-if game.
Maybe he should get another year for that.
Maybe he should. I think that's a great idea. How many games did he miss?
They give out bonus years for less.
That they did. That's a fair point. But back to Bairstow, I think in his heart, he's a distributor, right? That's what he does best. When he's been at his best this year, I think about the LaSalle game a lot, and asking Fran Dunphy afterward about him and his height and his court vision. Those are really Sean's strengths. He's not a scorer. He's a guy that wants to create for his teammates, I think. And you saw that tonight. He needed to be a scorer, and it just wasn't there in his heart. How many times did people yell at him to shoot in here? I heard it all night on those offenses. And
Coach Ryan Odom said that too.
They overpassed.
They overpassed. They turned down some shots that they should have taken. I think that's a great assessment of where it is. Yeah.
And there were a few of those possessions where the ball movement was great. It was swinging around the perimeter, right? But you passed up good looks looking for a great look, and the great look never came. And then by the end of the possession, you're saying we needed to take the good looks, and they did that too many times tonight. You could hear the crowd getting frustrated with it. It was a frustrated crowd for the most part tonight, throughout the game. I think they just sensed from the beginning with no Max that VCU was going to be fighting an uphill battle. And they were all night. Zeb Jackson was really critical of his team's mindset afterward.
He was.
Right? Said that we didn't have the aggression tonight. We didn't have the want. And you could see it out there on the floor. Day Grant, again, 26 points. On the score sheet, there's really nothing that stands out to you, right, that VCU didn't do well tonight. I mean, 24-24 in the paint, Duquesne 12-7 in second chance points. VCU actually shot a better percentage from the field and from three than Duquesne did by a marginal number. What stands out to me is Grant. 26, that's the difference, is Duquesne had their guy and VCU didn't.
I think rallies too, obviously the box score there doesn't show the rallies, but VCU never got one. There was that one at the start of the second half, but Duquesne did a really nice job of answering, calling a timeout, hitting a shot. I'm thinking back, was it Bairstow had the dunk, and then Trey Clark on the other end just
immediately answered it with a three.
Very casually hits a three, right? That's the stuff rallies are made of. They snuffed it out every time it came close.
Every time VCU got going, they answered, and VCU didn't have the counter punches, especially late down the stretch there, right? I think we asked, after it was 46-41, I think VCU never led again, and we asked them what was the difference down the stretch there. And they just said missed assignments and mental mistakes and sloppy turnovers. I mean, Duquesne's really good at turning you over, but that wasn't the difference tonight, right? I mean, VCU 14 turnovers. You could certainly be better in that regard. There were some sloppy ones there, but I don't think that's what killed him. It was really just missed assignments on the defensive end and leaving Grant way too open. Ryan said that they do some creative stuff with Grant as the screener in the action and then will peel off, and that was how they got him open on the perimeter a lot. And so tip of the cap to Coach Dambro and Duquesne for drawing up some stuff that obviously gave VCU trouble, because you were shocked at how open Grant was for some of those threes, right? For a shooter like that, for him to get freed up like that, it was shocking how consistently he did tonight. Everyone's wondering about the future right now, and I think it looked a little bit like a VCU team whose mind was on the future, unfortunately, right? On senior night, and you have your eyes on who's getting recognized tonight and who's not. Zeb Jackson said he's considering, hasn't made a decision yet. He was obviously recognized tonight. Kwani and Sean Bairstow are out of eligibility. And Max was recognized, and we asked Ryan about it, and he said that Max hasn't made that decision yet. He obviously is getting some NBA interest, which is awesome for him, and they're going to walk him through that conversation in the coming weeks and that process. But it felt like a fan base and a VCU team that maybe didn't have your eye on the ball entirely tonight.
Yeah, I would say, everything can change in one game, and Dayton can be that game, right? If they win, they've got the double bye. We forget all about it, go win one in Brooklyn, make it to the bye day or the off day there, and then, we just got to win two. This didn't look like a team that can win at Dayton, maybe Max comes back and maybe the shots fall and maybe it looks a little different and Sean gets more assertive and Toby gets more assertive under the basket. Those are all things that could plausibly happen, but this team that we saw tonight isn't going to win at Dayton.
No, and maybe Dayton doesn't have a whole lot to play for on Friday. I don't know. Maybe that's naive thinking they're not going to be up for a VCU game. But I think Richmond is going to have. Yeah, Richmond. That's true. It's going to be senior night for them. Richmond's going to have the A10 locked up. It looks like, so maybe Dayton's only playing for the difference between a 3 or a 4 seed. And VCU's playing for a lot more, and there's a sense of desperation on Friday. But it's a tall task going into UD Arena, right? Needing a win to not play on Wednesday in Brooklyn. It looks increasingly likely that this team's going to be playing on Wednesday in Brooklyn. Michael,
have fun on Wednesday in Brooklyn.
Michael, my train is, I'm going to have to redo my whole trip. I had the train scheduled for Wednesday going up there, so I'm going to have to move that around and get another night in the hotel.
Town has been rescheduled to an earlier departure.
Man. I messed up.
The train's kind of a pain in the butt anyway.
Is it? I'm taking it out of Staples Mill.
Oh yeah,
at that station.
You stop in DC for like an hour. That's the annoying part, and then it's fine. Like the DC to New York part's fine. It's just it's the stop in DC that gets you. Like,
okay.
We should be moving and we're not moving. Train's the way to go though, because you're a big important guy now at the newspapers. You got lots of work to do. It give you if you're driving, you don't have a chance to do all your big important work. So
that's true.
Yeah. One time I had somebody drive me back from New York so I could keep working in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
But I can't type in the car though. I get nauseous. I get the motion sickness.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
So I'm nervous about the train. Am I going to be all right on the train?
Yo, you'll be fine.
Very different.
No, train's great.
Do you like a plane? Because I can work on a plane. I don't get like motion sickness on a plane.
Train's smoother than a plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing is the Wi-Fi gets in and out at times. So download your stuff. Do what you need. Get everything set so you're not having to access a website or whatever. Don't write on the browser.
Okay,
right
in the Word. I can type away in the Word asset.
Copy and paste it in. There's a boost train, a boost car. So if you need that, I don't know if you're doing dry March. Whatever. I got through the dry January, and now I'm proud of myself for the rest of the year. All right. Do we need to bring Cheek in here? Do we need to get his thoughts on things? Yeah. Cheek,
I'm still sitting.
You want to add anything to On the Horn? 69-59, tough loss for VCU.
Very disappointing performance, which does not help on the heels of the Richmond loss. Something needs to change before Dayton. And that's one, because it's Dayton, and two, because Joe was really good tonight. He was off against Richmond, but he was really, really good tonight. They just need to clean out some stuff. Sean needs to do a better job of finishing at the basket.
Sean's got to look for his shot.
That too. He threw down that dunk, which set this place going, early in the second half, I think?
He passed up too many good looks.
Passing up too many good looks, passing up too many opportunities. Got to clean that stuff up.
I'm at train advice.
I'm
on to the train. I'm on to Brooklyn.
Train advice. It's been
I'm
like
Bill
8
Belichick.
years.
We're on to Dayton.
It's been like 8 years since I've been on a train. I got nothing for you.
Train's great. You'll love the train.
Sarah Tabiasu, it's worth we should
Player
say
of the
in
year.
here. Yes, Atlantic 10 Player of the Year. Really cool moment in the second half was recognized here. Was sitting in the crowd. That's awesome for VCU.
Yeah.
Atlantic 10 Women's Tournament at the Henrico Sports and Event Center going to be a lot of fun this
You'll
weekend.
Be there, right?
I will be there.
I will be there too.
Everyone in the area go out and support women's hoops. VCU and Richmond have had outstanding seasons. They're the top 2 seeds in that tournament. George Mason as well, another Virginia team that's had an outstanding season.
St. Joe's, all 4 of them right there at the top of the conference together. That's going to be a really exciting tournament. I cannot wait.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to be there. Any final thoughts?
Saturday, Thomasdale and Manchester.
Yes, David Teal wrote an awesome column about just women's hoops in the area for the
semis
for the weekend.
Probably. James River doing their thing.
VCU and you are probably back to back in the semis.
And
they can both
VCU
get through.
doing their thing.
Go watch Mia Wolfhook and Manchester. She's amazing. She's a Georgia commit. And then Lainey Grant is a North Carolina commit at James River. They're both going to be playing for state titles here on Saturday. Manchester's playing Thomasdale. They're a lot of fun to watch as well. The Siegel Center is going to be fun. And on Thursday, I will be here as well for John Marshall. which if you haven't, John Marshall's
Right.
always a spectacle.
I'm laying the points.
You're like, oh, all right. What is the line?
We got to talk to Sveditz, but you're probably
goodness
laying,
me.
what, 42, 43?
Am I allowed to ask what's the line? I don't know. That might be violating some ethics.
I know
here,
the
but
answers. This is news coverage. You cannot in a promotional capacity, but this is news coverage.
It is.
I'm
It's
happy
true.
to be your legal advisor in this matter.
All right, John Marshall minus 60.5. That's where I'm gonna put it.
We'll get Derby Bill on the horn to come up with the line.
And that is not an exaggeration. That might be underplaying it. They're a spectacle, though. They're a lot of fun to watch. Come watch them if you want. They're going to win a state title.
Women's hoops support her game on Saturday here was awesome.
Yes, it was.
6,000 people
VCU broke a
set a record.
broke
set
a record in the
wins
Siegel
record.
Center. What an outstanding atmosphere it
And
was.
The tournament this weekend's gonna be awesome.
It is.
It's gonna be awesome.
Guys, tough one for VCU, but we move forward. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Zach Joachim with Michael
I'm Michael.
Phillips.
Hi.
I'm
This is Adam
Adam.
Cheek. Bye, guys.